Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Our top focus is on the state of Karnataka. Very influential Lingayat Seer is charged of raping minors. He's charged with FIRs under the POSCO Act. One would have thought an arrest would have been made, at least he would have been detained. None of that till now. What's even more peculiar, or rather understandable, is that be it the Bharatiya Janata Party, be it the Congress, be it the JDS, all three parties at loggerheads usually because it's election time, have banded together in support of an alleged rapist. Why was the question we asked this evening.
This is influential Lingayat Seer Shivamurthy Murugha greeting his supporters, waving and thanking them for their support while facing serious charges of raping minor girls. That's right, this Seer has been accused of raping minor girls in his Mutt hostel and yet roams free, brazenly showing off the support he enjoys as cops refuse to arrest him. This pontiff is the chief of one of the most prominent Lingayat Mutts in Karnataka and has been clicked with some of the biggest political leaders in the country. Despite the gravity of the allegations against him, he's not been detained or arrested. He's been allowed to sit in his Chitradurga Mutt with no action.
ಆ ದಿಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆದರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಾನೂನನ್ನ ಗೌರವಿಸೋಣ. ಆ ದಿಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿಮಾನದ ಚಿಲುಮೆಯನ್ನು.
Two students in the Murugha Mutt school's hostel approached an NGO alleging they were sexually abused in the institution, based on which an FIR was registered against the pontiff and 4 others, including the warden Rashmi.
POSCO ಕೇಸು ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚಿತ್ರದುರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಡ್ನಾಪ್ ಕೇಸು ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಎರಡು ಕೇಸುಗಳನ್ನು ಪೊಲೀಸರು ದಾಖಲೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತನಿಖೆಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪೊಲೀಸರಿಗೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಅವರು ತನಿಖೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸತ್ಯ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ.
With months to go for elections in Karnataka, the development has rocked the state with political parties tiptoeing around the controversy and some openly backing the rape-accused Seer.
ಮಠದಲ್ಲಿರೋದೇ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರ ಇದು. ತನಿಖೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸತ್ಯಾಸತ್ಯ ಹೊರಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲದರಿಂದ ಮುಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೊರಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಡೀ ನಾಡಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನ ಗೌರವ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Let me not interfere with whatever the police or the government is doing late, because I can't only reply to whatever you are telling. Let me examine it, then I'll come back.
In another twist in this case, the Mutt authorities have filed a counter-complaint naming a JDS leader, ex-MLA and former administrator of the Mutt, S.K. Basavarajan. The warden, who's been named as an accused in the minor rape case, has alleged that the JDS leader is the one who raped the girls and hence filed a rape and kidnap case.
S.K. Basavarajan ಅವರು ನಿಲಯ ಪಾಲಕರಿಗೆ ಲೈಂಗಿಕವಾಗಿ ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ದೂರನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ದೂರಿನ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಚಿತ್ರದುರ್ಗ ಗ್ರಾಮಾಂತರ ಠಾಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಕರಣವನ್ನು ದಾಖಲಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತನಿಖೆಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಲಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಾವು 11:30ವರೆಗೂ ನಾವಿದ್ವಿ, ಮಠದಲ್ಲಿದ್ರು, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ರು, ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನು ಅದು ಏನು ಟಿವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾತ ಸ್ಥಳ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡನೇದಾಗಿ ಬಸವರಾಜನ್ನಾಗಲಿ ಗುರುಗಳಾಗಲಿ ಎಂದೂ ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರೇನು ಅವತ್ತು ಮಠ ಬಿಟ್ಟೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಂದೂ ಅವರು ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು
serious questions have been raised whether police will ensure fair probe when the Seer has not been detained or arrested and is still a free bird who can influence the eyewitnesses as well as the victims. Political parties meanwhile are guilty of prioritizing their appeasement politics in the state of Karnataka. With journalist Shivu Sagairaj reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
My colleague Sagiraj is joining us live with the very latest coming in. Sagiraj, what's interesting is the Seer of the Mutt might have filed for anticipatory bail, but the fact is he's been charged with the POCSO Act because he is charged with raping minors. Now, what is are the cops doing? Has an investigation already started? And are we going to seek an impending arrest very soon? Is it going to happen very soon?
See, when you see the legal process, it should happen very soon, but police are taking their own sweet time to go ahead with this particular case, because after 3 days of filing the FIR in this particular case, today the police had visited the spot and did the marshalling, and this was supposed to be done few days back, but they have taken their own sweet time to do this. And talking about this particular case, as of now, it's a POCSO case. If they have registered their statement under section 164 in front of the judge, and the arrest is inevitable. But so far, the police have not arrested or detained or questioned the people who have been involved in this particular case and whose names have been mentioned in the FIR.
Thank you, Sagiraj, for joining us. Because one thing, one must understand that if you are arrested under the POCSO Act, it's a non-bailable offence. One wonders why that arrest hasn't quite happened, because there is an eyewitness. There are 2 girls who have alleged rape, and they have made that statement, and FIR is lodged. I want to cut across right now to our panelists this evening, and understandably, one would have hoped, in an ideal world, that we would have had representation today from the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Congress, the JDS. None of them are joining us this evening, primarily because an election is in order. The Lingayat community is essential in Karnataka. Whoever is attuned with Karnataka politics to win elections, it can swing the vote in one way or the other, and not one political party wants to take charge. Right from the BJP to the Congress to the JDS, it's amazing that each of these political parties have come out in strong support of none else but the man that you see on your television screen on the right-hand side, who's been accused of raping minor girls. I have with me, though, this evening, Syed Abbas, political analyst. He's coming in and he is going to be looking to take possibly the Congress stand. Vivek Reddy, senior advocate, Karnataka High Court, would be looking to bat for the BJP. I also have Syed Aslam, spokesperson, JDS. All right, we do have a JDS spokesperson, which is great. And Brinda Dige, activist. Brinda Dige, I'll begin with you. The fact that not one political party has come out and spoken against the Seer in question pretty much goes on to establish the fickleness of each political party, and when it comes on a stand, when it comes against rape, for women, everything pales in comparison of an election coming up in 2 months.
You're absolutely right, and this is a shameful situation. A shameful situation because these are people we elect into power to make policies and laws to protect children and women, and they do not want to take a stand. They need not have to say anything, but why would they take such a categoric stand to prove and continue to state that the alleged accused is innocent? The alleged accused is being conspired against. The alleged accused is actually a very good social worker. I mean, these certificates are not to be given by elected representatives, politicians and political parties, and that is the most appalling, shameful thing that they can do. For us to have a fair investigation at the rate at which all these things are happening, I think it's time for us to now seek the support from CBI. Because a narrative that is being sent across is casting aspersions on the children who've made the complaint. So they are in danger. We do not know if safety and protection has been extended to them. The NGO who has supported these children to make the FIR are also in danger. The FIR actually was registered on 26th of August. Technically, within the next 24 hours, the police should have arrested and produced this alleged accused before the court. They have not done any of those things, which they usually do for other ordinary citizens who have been accused of similar crimes.
Brinda Dige, I'll ask you one question before I go to our panelists. For somebody who follows these cases very closely, usually if you're accused and if there is an FIR, which has also been lodged under the POCSO Act against someone, how long does the police usually pick up that person in?
It happens within 2 days, maximum 3 days if the person is absconding, because the police they have all the know-how and the resources to trace the person. And over here, Today is what? We are talking about 29th August and nothing has happened. They said that they detained him for some time when actually we saw him actually addressing audiences on various TV channels, and somewhere they have also given him police protection. What are we talking about? Police protection for an alleged accused but no arrest as per law?
Saeed Aslam, spokesperson JDS, where does the JDS stand on this? Because your own party person is accused in a counter FIR in this.
Yeah, so see, it's a serious allegation. When a serious allegation of sexual abuse against the minor girls are there, absolutely there is no defense to it. We urge the government to have a fair and transparent investigation into this. And since the POXO case is already registered, there should be a fair and transparent investigation which needs to happen in this particular case. And it's a serious allegation. This allegation has to be immediately investigated, and there is no defense to it. Let me make it very, very clear. Our party stand is very, very clear that there is no defense to this. Anyone, irrespective of however influential the Seer or the pontiff is, irrespective of how many ever this Mutt is in existence for more than 3.5 centuries, they're into social welfare and all that. Well, absolutely, that is fine. Having said that, when there's a serious allegation of sexual abuse, there is no defense to it. Immediately, there should be a fair and transparent investigation that needs to happen. No one should support such activities. We demand on behalf of our party that there should be an immediate and fair investigation. The police should be given complete authority to have fair investigation into this case. Right?
Okay. I'll come back to you because there's a very blatant question that needs to be asked. Syed Abbas, we tried very hard for the Congress to come in, but would you not reckon DK Shiv Kumar extremely vocal? 2 days ago, he spoke up for Bilkis Bano. He spoke up for other rape victims. Today, when a mic is put to DK Shiv Kumar, he turns around and says, I don't quite know about the case. Really?
I honestly believe that be it Nirbhaya, be it Bilkis Bano, or be it even the minor girls here, I truly believe that irrespective of party lines, the leaders must speak about it. The fact of the matter, be it a very influential Maulana, Maulvi, Mullah, Seer, pontiff of a Mutt, or even a Pandit, or even a priest, all are equal. Nobody is above the law. The fact of the matter is, the question raises to the BJP. The BJP is in power. The police is in the hands of the power.
What pressure is the Congress putting? What pressure is the Congress putting? When your own party, the people, no, Syed Abbas, when the Congress party people are going to be asked about this case and they say, we don't know, let the police is doing the right thing, we'll take action. Is this what the opposition needs to do? Usually the Congress is forthcoming and say it's a job to put pressure. Where is the pressure?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Undoubtedly, I completely agree with you with the front that opposition, be it the JDS, be it the Congress, or even the other parties here in Karnataka, must and should do their duty of being in opposition. But we raise the question to the opposition, and opposition must, and so the people in power. Why isn't there an arrest? I'm aware of the POXO charges. There is no provision for an anticipatory bail. And how does this pontiff get the anticipatory bail, whereas it's a non-bailable offense? The fact of the matter, ma'am, I'm a father to a minor at home. I'm shocked when such charges arises, because who do we trust? Who do we have faith on? Sometimes we need to keep the politics aside and fight for the right. That is the only way to go. Because being a brother, being a son, being a father, that means a lot.
Syed Abbas, that's all well and good coming from you, but a party like the Congress today could have turned around and said, arrest this man. What the party said today was, we don't know about the case. Why? Because it suits them politically. I want to cut across to Vivek Reddy, Senior Advocate, Karnataka High Court. He'll be putting forth the BJP stand this evening. Mr. Reddy, you have somebody like Mr. Yediyurappa who says conspiracy. He's already cried conspiracy in the face of minor girls saying that they were raped by this man. Before an investigation, Mr. Yediyurappa says it's conspiracy.
Well, I think, first of all, until and unless there is a full-blown investigation and the facts have come out clearly, I don't think anybody can intervene with that process or short-circuit that process and say that this is a conspiracy. From the inputs that Mr. Yediyurappa may have had, he may have believed that it is a conspiracy. But the point is,
what inputs could Mr. Reddy, Mr. Yediyurappa, sir, I want to ask you one question. What inputs could Mr. Yediyurappa have? Hear me out, sir. Hear me out, sir. What inputs could Mr. Yediyurappa have that this was a conspiracy when the probe hasn't even begun? What could be the inputs?
Absolutely, you're right. I think, first of all, the investigation must complete, and only when the full-blown trial or the charge sheet is drawn up, the statements of witnesses are taken, the ocular evidence is taken, and also the evidence pertaining to Section 164 statement is taken of the child. I think unless and until this process is complete, we cannot prematurely press the button and say that this is a criminal conspiracy. So this, the BJP stands by it. The BJP has detained this man very clearly.
Sir, please tell me, where is this man detained? This man is not detained. We've spoken to the Karnataka police. They said there's no detention. Are you breaking news on the channel by saying that this man on our screen is detained?
Well,
are you confirming this? Because the Karnataka police till date says no detention.
Correct. He was moving over to Maharashtra. At that point of time,
he is in his mutt, sir. He is in his mutt. He is in very much in Karnataka. There is no detention.
Yes. So therefore, we have to examine the facts. See, the point is this. In case the Seer is involved, I don't think the government is going to protect this man in any manner. It is going all out to ensure that justice is brought to him. Whether he is a Seer or whether he is an ordinary person, it does not matter at all.
Mr. Reddy, I want to ask you one question. What do you mean by the government is going all out, the police is going all out? How many days has it been over? It's been over 2 days.
The police
since
is
these
investigating
FIRs,
the matter.
Sir, hear me out. It's been over 2 days since these FIRs were lodged. In a POCSO case, it's less than 2 days that the accused is picked up. And you're telling me that they're going all out, there hasn't even been a detention.
Well, you have to look at the entire surrounding circumstances, the evidence, the statements of witnesses, the statements of the accused, the 164 statement of the child. We have to ensure that all this is taken in. Remember, there was a case of Ramchandrapura Mutt, a similar allegation against a Seer. It was not under POSCO, it was a general 376 allegation. The allegation was vitiated with so much of falsity that ultimately he was acquitted. Now, due to this position, I think the police must balance, the prosecution must balance this whole process. It must ensure that there is credible investigation, there is credible information to back this investigation, and before, if at all an arrest is made,
in POCSO, what matters, sir, forget about POCSO. There is no investigation, the onus of rape lies. Sir, the onus of rape lies on the accused, and under POCSO it's very different. Let me, I'm going to bring in Brinda Adige into this conversation. Brinda Adige, would you like to enlighten especially our viewers on what does a POCSO charge actually mean?
In the law called POCSO, Prevention of Sexual Harassment, Sexual Violence on Children, it's very clear that the onus of proof, to prove that you are innocent and not guilty, lies with the alleged accused, not with the child. The way Mr. Reddy is talking is he's casting aspersions on the children and the report that they have made and an FIR that has also been made by the police. 1. 2. The law is also very clear that the alleged accused has to be arrested and produced before the magistrate. Now, why hasn't that been done for this person? Because if it was any other ordinary person, such a complaint, you would have that person arrested and put behind bars. So why is this special treatment? Look at the messaging and the narrative that is going around, that there is a conspiracy, that you're casting aspersions on the children over here and saying that they may be lying or they may be being used. How can you say that when investigation has not yet happened? You'll have to wait. You cannot give a clean chit and a good conduct certificate to anybody, irrespective of how great social work the institution has done. You are not extending protection, safety and confidence to the victim survivors to say, good that you have come forward and made a complaint. Now the Department of Women and Child and the police and the Child Welfare Committee will go into that mutt to understand whether similar such cases are there and to secure and keep all of them safe. Instead, you are not doing all of those things. You are trying to defend yourself and malign the girls who have come forward and made this complaint.
All right, let Mr. Reddy answer. Mr. Reddy, come in.
As soon as a complaint is filed, an FIR is lodged. And once the FIR is lodged, the process of law is set into motion. The investigation commences. It is not that FIR is not lodged. Nobody is trying to evade anything. Only thing that the police is trying to additionally ensure is that this is a clear-cut case which can be brought under POSCO. The investigation in that line is going on.
But
And
sir, can I,
Mr.
Reddy, I just want to ask you, sir. I want to, Mr. Reddy, I want to ask you why. I'll tell you why I'm perturbed. You know why most people are perturbed. I'll ask you. You're saying it needs to be established whether it should be under the POXO Act. Both girls, one age 15, one age 16. Their ages. Sir, hear me out. Sir, hear me out. Both the age of both these girls has been lodged under your very Mutt. Your very Mutt has said that their age is 15 and 16. They're well under. They're minors, well under 18 years of age. Both of them are saying that for 3.5 years they were sexually abused by this man. What is? You've got to at least begin with a detention.
Preeti,
Yes.
let me, Preeti madam,
yes.
let me just be clear that this is not my Mutt or this is not Mutt under which I am under its aegis. I am just a person defending, looking at the line of action by the police, whether the line of action is correct or not. I think in view of the previous examples where there was a big chant against certain persons, certain pontiffs, I think at least there is a responsibility on the police to ensure that whatever they do, the actions they take is based on some bit of clear-cut evidence. The 164 statement of the child, when it is recorded before the magistrate, I don't know whether it is recorded in this case. If at all it is recorded, and there the child in camera before the magistrate has divulged certain details, I think that is a point where action must be taken immediately. I don't know whether it has been done in this case. And Brinda Adige's case, that the accused must prove that he is innocent, well, that is a matter of trial. At the time of trial, when evidence is laid against the accused, that is when he has to shift that burden by disproving the case of the prosecution. It is not at this stage when a first information report is lodged.
Understood.
Immediately
so why are you giving a clean
I'm going to go one by one. Mr. Reddy, I'll ask you one question,
This is just
sir.
a first information report.
Right, sir. Sir, I'll ask you one question.
This is a first information
sir,
report.
you're a senior advocate.
Why are you
Mr.
making
Reddy,
a clean
Mr.
chit
Reddy,
now?
you're a senior advocate. As a senior advocate, I'll ask you one question. Right? You must have fought many cases under POXO. You must have seen many cases develop. As per FIR, the first information report, how long does it take to make an arrest in a POXO report, sir? What is the usual time? I'll ask you. You tell me the time.
About 30 days for a charge sheet to be filed.
The charge sheet arrest is different than a charge sheet, sir. Sir, itna to law, even I know that the charge sheet comes much later. How long does it take to arrest?
30 days or at least 90 days.
Sir, arrest, 2 days.
Well, arrest is upon a first information report being filed.
2 days, sir. 2 days.
Preeti, 1 second, Preeti madam. Once an FIR is filed, the police at least have the responsibility and a duty to ensure that the allegations made against the pontiff are clear-cut, manifest allegations or based on true facts. If at all it is, if such a responsibility is discharged by the police and it is ensured that yes, there is credible information.
So the FIR was only lodged. It was only lodged.
That they are trying to do.
The FIR was only lodged at the basis of 2 girls giving their account, first-person account, right? That's why when the FIR was lodged. You're a senior advocate, sir. I'm sure you know better. But having said that, I want to take just last quick comments by everybody. Syed Abbas, I'll come back to you, and I want to ask you. The Congress today, the likes of DK Shiv Kumar, should have come out and said very clearly that they stand by these 2 young girls and not by the Seer, no matter how important he might be in the scheme of things in the upcoming elections in Karnataka. Correct me if I am wrong.
Preeti ji, let me reiterate my statement. You know, to me, I do not speak today as just a party supporter or a political analyst. I think it's much beyond a moral compass to be. The fact being a father, having a minor at home, absolutely. Be it H.D. Kumaraswamy, which I don't see anything coming from him, or a D.K. Shivkumar, Sidramaya Yediyurappa. Everybody must and should come out in the open.
It's not coming out from anyone. Yeah. It's not coming out. Syed Aslam, spokesperson, JDS.
10 seconds.
Make your point.
The fact of the matter, it's a heinous crime here we are talking about. We are talking about 2 minors here. So we need to understand here that keep all the politics aside and come forward and let the investigation happen.
Syed Aslam, spokesperson, JDS. It's very well and good. Okay, sir, I've heard you. I've heard you, sir. Syed Aslam, you know, it's all well and good to come on the show and say, as a party, we stand by these 2 girls and action must be taken. What's the statement coming? Have we heard from your chief?
So I'll tell you. the former Chief Minister, Honorable former Chief Minister Kumaraswamy has categorically told that this has to be investigated thoroughly, and definitely the police has to be given full authority to do a transparent investigation into this. And also it has been told that it has been brought to our notice that this the minor girls have tried to register a complaint in Chitradurga way back in 2019 and 20. Where, I mean,
what are you doing,
happened.
sir? What is the full investigation? Do you ask for a quick arrest at least? An investigation can carry on. Do you ask for a quick arrest? Does the JDS ask for a quick arrest?
Well, of course, since there are serious allegations,
right,
by the minor girls.
Brinda Dige, 10 seconds. Brinda Dige, 10 seconds.
Be given full authority to investigate.
10 seconds closing comments, Brinda Dige.
Platitudes aside, not a single political party has come in support of the victim survivors. That by itself is an abomination, because the state machinery is now sending out a message, and the narrative is that somebody is lying, somebody is conspiring. That is unacceptable. We want the CBI to step in, because that's the only way there can be a fair investigation and justice given to the children.
You know, we're going to keep a keen eye. I'm running horribly over time. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments there. Appreciate you all for joining us. Thank you.